This week on Danu on Fire, we're checking out this fabulous place with Kishu Gomes. It's Danu on Fire and we're at Colombo City Centre Residencies, and this time around I've invited Kishu Gomes to join me on Danu on Fire. Got some food down. This amazing place called Smoking Hearts. Yeah, which is amazing. All right, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for the invitation.
Ayubovan.
Yeah.
These are new days, different days from the last time I saw him. I think I last spoke to you after Sri Lanka facing a very untimely, unwanted bomb blast. And you were with the tourism and you were promoting Sri Lanka. Hardest task ever.
Definitely. I mean, that was a very, very challenging period, not just for me as the tourism head, but for the entire country.
Yeah.
Very devastating. 42 tourists died and then over 300 got injured. So I had to, work extremely hard together with the team to be able to recover and recover fast. We recovered quite successfully. Just over 8 months, we managed to recover up to 85%, which is a good achievement.
Exactly. But I also feel that the world felt for Sri Lanka. It felt for, like how much we felt for our fellow Sri Lankans who unfortunately had to suffer in these. I think the world also felt for us. Like
no, definitely. Yeah, I mean, we made it happen that way as well, Danu, to be very honest with you. We came up with very sensitive, communication. We ran a nice PR campaign, not with a, glorified global PR agency as such. We used all the resources we had, within our arm's reach. Yeah. And there were a few agencies that helped us as well. And I remember going around the world and talking to media personnel, talking to various tour operators, associations, and talking to various media organizations as well, doing live interviews on some of the mega global channels, and taking part at various exhibitions, repositioning, regaining the attention for good reasons, and slowly and gradually rebuilding confidence in the minds of the potential travelers, and then getting the numbers we needed.
Amazing. Well, I think now the world is facing something which is very annoying. And how are you looking at COVID?
We have no choice but to deal with it, but to encounter it with a positive state of mind. That's what I am doing currently for the organizations I'm working for. Trying to obviously take all the safety precautions necessary, because this is deadly, unpredictable, and one strain today, another strain tomorrow. It keeps changing the color, the shape, the level of danger, all of that. So it's a very, very hard task.
Like if Hollywood has done a movie on COVID, I'm sure they will do in another few years to come. It'll be like those Spider-Man films where you see the negative just evolving and reshaping itself.
I know.
But globally and locally, looking at COVID, and especially from a businessman's point of view, because I think issues and strategies are your strength. Where do you see us heading?
Well, prior to COVID also, we as a country have not been doing well. So that's the fact that we have to accept, right?
Okay,
so we were struggling anyway, and this came and hit us.
Harder.
And and then it took a different turn altogether. So it's extremely hard task for the country to be able to start reviving and recovering again. Obviously, we have no choice, but everyone coming together and in one voice with extreme bond that we need to have, go out and fight it out. So that's the kind of attitude that we need to have.
But we were sort of taking shape, right? Late last year and sort of early this year.
Obviously, I mean, late last year was good. Trend was good, very encouraging. We thought, just over 6 months' time, we'll be able to get back to the original levels we were at. But then came March, back to square one. And the environment today is worse than ever before. On a daily basis, over 2,000 infections are being recorded. The activities are ongoing. Keeping the revenue or the top line ticking, which is a good sign, and we've no other option but to take all the safety precautions necessary, get on with what you got to do day in day out, because it's not a situation where you and I can take the position that over the next 2 months time it's going to be over. So therefore let's close doors and then stay indoors. You can't do that. You don't know. Sometimes this might last for the next 1.5 years to 2 years time. So what do? We need to earn our revenue as a country, as businesses, and as individuals to keep the lives going. So that's the way to look at it.
When I spoke to him to invite him on the show, something that he told me was, if we had known, okay, in 3 months we'll be done with COVID, we can close our doors and just put our shorts on and relax at home and be like, okay, in 3 months let's deal with it. Unfortunately, we just can't deal with it, and it's just a confusing timeline that we have to all deal with. Like, even shooting a show today has become the most painful operation ever.
I know.
Surrounding people, location, people who are in the location. I'm telling you, I will lose more of this hair in the next few weeks to come. All right, I'm going to take you down because there's a perfect sunset that happens at Colombo City Centre that I've always enjoyed. More than anything, we can take some nice pictures. We're going to see you on the other side. Do stick around because I'm going to take him to food studio to enjoy some great food. We'll see you on the other side. Something that I really like about living here is the fact that I could just bring people down to some great tasting food. We're at Smoking Hearts, this at the food studio. You can come and check the sunset out. It's just such a beautiful place to really relax and enjoy some good food, wholesome food. But if it doesn't rain, you are really lucky, and today is one of those days. In conversation with Kishu, I actually asked him secretly, how old is he? And you'll never guess.
You're not supposed to make sure that on camera.
You'll never guess. Because I've known him for so long, and I just wanted to know, how old are you? So need to ask you, you fall under the type of CEOs and business leaders who belong to perfect timing, routine lifestyle, and also discipline. How did you sort of cultivate these qualities within you?
Well, I mean, first thing is my job, right? I mean, I got into marketing. That was quite an accident. I saw a very impressive, guy working in the field together with the team, and I saw, how, strong he was in terms of his personality, how he got everyone's attention. So that basically, got me to study about marketing, and then I got into marketing, and then worked really hard to come up to the level I've come up over the years, and obviously I have a couple of Sri Lankan records. So that's with commitment, hard work, expanding my horizons, applying myself, and learning, on the job and then off the books, all of that, I've basically reached that level. Today, of course, other than my day job, I do many other, jobs as well in order to help, different other organizations. Second thing about routine, it's not really routine. I mean, I am into so many areas, and if you go through my profile, you'll find that there isn't anything that I don't do.
Yes,
right.
That.
So that's me. But the magic there is that I don't do anything that I don't like to do, that I don't enjoy. So that's the answer I give to people when people ask me as to how I manage time. Because a lot of people undertake to do things that their heart is not there for, right? So when you go pick up such things, you tend to then complain. You tire yourself, you get frustrated, then it becomes an issue. In my case, it's not that. I mean, you invited me, you didn't give me that much notice,
yes.
Very short
but
notice.
You checked your calendar, you're like, boom, this Sunday I'm free.
Yeah, so then you said, no, it's too late.
Yeah.
Then we, decided on this particular day. So I came with, very open heart, and I'm very excited about this opportunity. Spending time with you and, doing this kind of things is something that is,
off the normal routine.
So I am into so many areas from that perspective, and my latest is I acted in a teledrama which would go on TV over the next couple of days time.
Please give me more. Hold on a second. You acted in a teledrama.
Yes.
As what?
As a managing director also.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And you are in multiple episodes?
Yes.
Oh my
And then
God.
more to be done. Few were done last
and did
weekend.
you see the actor within you?
Well,
You have judged reality shows. What haven't you done, no?
Yeah, so I mean, I have acted in a movie as well, which is to be released. So it'll come. I don't know when, but
God, your portfolio is a bit too strong.
Yeah, so it's not routine. I mean, that's what I meant by saying not routine.
But you have a routine when it comes to discipline.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I have so many activities to be accomplished within a given day, and I will make sure that I complete everything, right? So that comes with discipline. Your third point. So I'm very, very disciplined.
Fascinating. I've known him from the time I was 19, and what's remarkable is I have to always backtrack time when I tell my crew if it's people like him, because if he says 5:15, he's here at 5. And also he'll also send you a reminder saying I'll be there at 5:15.
Right.
It should be the other way around. And this is amazing. These qualities.
That's me.
But something that I want to ask you. Sometimes how all people always say if you're someone in the corporate field, or if you're someone who is maintaining a portfolio like that, you should never do things that could look a bit frivolous. But how have you managed this image of judging a reality show, acting in a movie or a teledrama, being the flamboyant you, even doing a topless photo shoot?
You remember that?
Yeah. To do all of this, how have you managed all of this and still remained as a business leader?
Well, I like to be authentic. There is a life that I enjoy. So as long as it's legal, as long as it's socially acceptable, it's ethical, that's all I care. I don't care about anything else, what people say. Because, as an individual, you've got to use, all the talents you got in you. Otherwise, you're wasting your life, right? So I keep telling the younger generation as well, don't stick to one area. Have your core, that's okay. I mean, you are a media person, that's your core. But it doesn't mean that, you do only that, right? I mean, you have a large profile, right? So you have your core, and then, many things that you do around it. So I do the same. Right.
But what we should all get right is the core. If your core is messed up, then you can't do the frills around it.
Exactly. Yeah. Core is your product, right? And you build a brand around it. So if you haven't got the product in place, you can't build a brand, right? So just talking about a little bit of marketing there.
That's amazing, though.
So that's how you build a name. That's how you build a reputation for you. That's how you start getting that admiration, the respect, the love, and affection, all of that you need, to live a life that you can enjoy.
Have you ever thought of a day that you'll retire?
No, no. I mean, I've been saying, I being an athlete, you know that as well. So
You
I've been
retired a few
saying that,
times.
yeah, I mean, I've been saying, right. I've been saying that the day I can't run 100 meters in less than 12 seconds would be the day I would retire.
And still you can, no?
So I still do sprinting. I wear my spikes on. I get into proper, athletic gear.
Yeah.
And then I go to a ground and I do my sprinting. So that's the attitude, more than anything else. To say that don't give up, use all the energy you have and do everything you could do, as long as it creates value for others and for you.
For yourself.
Yeah.
I also have the same motto. If I can sprint in 12 minutes, I will continue doing what I'm doing, and I can still do it.
You can still do it. I know that.
12 minutes, 12 seconds. There you go. We have.
Keep going.
Yeah. We're going to get into a break. We'll see you on the other side because we're going to dig into some good food from Smoking Arts. You should come check them out because I also know them personally and they make wholesome food. It's from the heart. We're going to dig in because we didn't want to actually show how bad it might look when we eat. We'll see you after this. Final segment of Danu on Fire, and we are speaking to Kishu Gomes this evening. And these days, as we are all getting used to the whole new situation of normal situation, and it's just whole annoying situation in life.
I know.
What would you tell business-oriented people, and especially ones who have gone out there and ventured in doing their own things? Because I think Sri Lanka had a boom of like young entrepreneurs coming up with their own brands.
Right.
And they have all been crippled in the last 2.5 years.
Sure.
What would you tell them?
Well, I mean, number one is post-quid, world is going to be more competitive than ever before. Right? So prepare yourself to take on that competition effectively and successfully. So in terms of your knowledge, use this period, where you don't have 12 hours of work, 18 hours of work to, get knowledge that you need. Knowledge with commercial value, knowledge that you can sell, knowledge that you can create wealth with, revenue with, right? So that type of knowledge. And then, skill development, basically, building all the competencies, that you require in order to play more aggressively in that more competitive world. So that's one, that's for the future. But today, what can you do? Obviously, we can talk about a lot of philosophies, but market consumption has dropped. So in an environment of that nature, you wouldn't have the top lines, that you desire. So it will always be lower. So just see where you can reduce costs, right? Just keep your nose above water, just float, right? Don't try to do too many things at this moment of time. Try things that you're not sure of. But if you find new opportunities that are very creative in the new normal world, things that can really work, lay your hands on it. But otherwise, soft pedal it, keep your costs low, just prepare for the future.
So literally survival is...
survival without, taking too many risks. Because if you are bleeding already, trying to, do new things can, dig your own grave, right? So you've got to be very, very, intelligent in making the right, prudent decisions.
Yeah. Now, what is your opinion about these imports? We are like vehicles have become so scarce. Like second-hand vehicles are like premium quality today.
Yes.
Like, hello, I sold my car for the same price I bought it,
Right.
and I was like, thanks. And only I will know the things that my car has gone through.
But you need to buy one as well.
Yeah,
so
I did that.
when you buy, it'll
I
come
know,
at that
but
price.
I was quite happy to know that I was able to sell it at the same
Sure,
price.
sure. No, that's a great thing.
Knowing the things that happened to my car.
Yeah.
Because I kind of learned my driving also in it. So
Okay,
you can imagine.
okay.
But what do you think about this whole import factor in our country?
Well, I mean, the government is trying to manage the exchange rate. That's why they're talking about, all these bans and limitations, the ceilings, all of that. So it should be a temporary thing because we live in a global, village, and there has to be enough exchange. Otherwise, a country cannot progress.
Correct.
Right? So that exchange at a reasonable level has to go on. So whether it is at the right level, reasonable level, it depends on how you look at it. People are deprived of all these imported stuff, and some were totally dependent on imported things.
No so brand names to drop anymore.
So it's time for people to basically have little space for the local brands, local products as well, and for the country's economy to grow, you obviously need your own people buying your own things as well. So it's getting the right balance. So people getting used to that kind of philosophy is not a bad thing, surely. So while imports need to continue to come locally, our guys need to produce things that can be marketed elsewhere in the world.
Because we have so much of space to sell today.
Obviously.
And we have nothing to sell there.
Obviously. So where we have failed, since you said it, where we have failed is building brands. We have built, we've manufactured good products.
Yeah.
But we have not had the skill, the will, the desire, the talent to be able to build brands.
Correct.
Right? I mean, if you look at US today, what do they manufacture? They manufacture nothing.
They take from others.
But from morning till evening, we consume US brands.
Yeah, true.
Right?
So that's why it's going from here.
Going from here, obviously, and it comes back and we buy it off the shelf, right? So that goes to show what how brands can help an economy. So obviously we have learning. So we have little space during this period where it's a lockdown situation, isolated, all of that. So if you have couple of hours to do nothing, expand your horizon, see what you can create in order to become the business person that you want to become. If you are an employee, just see how you can be more competitive to be able to rise up in the ladder. If you are an ordinary citizen, see what can you do as a citizen of this country to prop the country's economy and to create a better environment for people to be happier.
That is true. Because there are so many people right now thinking on their feet. Actually, I think they are forced to think on their feet, to come up with new avenues, new ventures of developing themselves, because this is the new normal, and this is not the new normal. What is it now?
It's going to be next normal.
We are past the new normal to next normal. All right, on that note, we need to say bye, because we also have got hot churros to get our hands dirty with. Thank you so very much, Kishu. It was amazing as always.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity. We'll see you again soon.
Definitely. So until we see you then, you keep smiling. It's a wrap on this side.